Hello. You can go.
Hello, guys. I am a burn survivor. Welcome to we're doing this. First of all, I want to apologize because I'm in a bad mood today. So anything you say, well, I'll try to not react is that, and I'll try to watch what I say. But if some, if you say something that doesn't go with what like like you know like for example, if you ask me something and if I don't feel like explaining it, then don't feel bad. And that's the first thing I want to say. And welcome. And yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. I'm Yosefa. And this is we're doing this, and this is episode 8. Uh, you're gonna be so annoyed, but I think the camera's messed up. Just sit normal.
What do you mean sit normal? I can sit normal.
Okay, that's fine. Hi, Gary. Joey Pogo says hello.
Hello, Joey.
So what? Thanks for joining us again, Gary. I like Gary has a new image on his icon image.
Ooh.
Gary says hi, guys.
Hi, Gary.
So your birthday's coming up. I saw you posted something about your birthday party. What's that about?
Yeah.
You want to talk about your birthday party
No.
coming up? No.
No.
Well, my birthday is tomorrow.
Cool.
Yep. Turning the big old 39.
Hee hee.
So I have been like dying for you to meet this person that I've been wanting to bring on the show for a really long time. I know I just texted you about him.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Gary said, "Aw." Um, and yeah, Gary, my birthday is tomorrow.
Yup. She's been
Um,
coming in tournament.
I've been what?
You becoming what's the word what's the word in English? Wait. Well, what's the word?
Say it in Spanish.
I say in Spanish. Wait. Wait. Mm,
What is it?
wait. Inferti.
What?
Inferti.
Inferti?
Yeah.
Do you want me to look up what it means in English?
No, no, I know what it means.
What does
It
it
means
mean?
like how they say like over the years like people are like when they get too old like some of them cannot have kids.
Oh, you're calling me infertile.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you're calling me infertile.
Inferno. Oh, that's what it's called. I thought it was called Inferno.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
For me, it is.
You're a funny guy. Say, I know you're gonna hate me, but can you move to the left a little?
Again, dude.
Well, I don't know which was right or left now. I think it's left.
Oh,
Wait, maybe lift your left hand up so I know.
look, this is left. This is right. Okay.
Then it's your right.
My gosh, Josefa.
Just scoot. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So for the mods, we're not going to be doing any blocking. Just let people do their thing in the chat. Um, and so you guys know that Zaid is a burn survivor. He was burned in a house fire when he was 2. But we're not going to be talking about that today because I wanted to tell you something really awesome. Oh wait, but before I say that, yeah, I'm going to be 39 tomorrow. But Zaid, I've been wanting you to meet this person for a really, really long time. His name is Chops Wanderweird, and he's a pop artist with a focus on mythology, religion, and magic. And I know you're super into religion. You talk about that a lot, and that's one of your interests. And all of his work is done by hand, and there's no digital, nothing AI. There's no AI here, including
Cool.
Zaid.
Okay, cool.
Someone asked if you believe in Jesus.
I'll let you assume. Not you,
You did.
Josefa.
No, I know, but like you like to. So like, what are your? I know that you come from like a really Catholic family. You're a Mexican Catholic. Your mom is very religious.
No, I know, but doesn't mean like I mean, people can assume whatever.
Yeah, like you're the type of guy that needs like the
No,
facts.
no, no, like I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna let the facts out, and then people can assume, and
Right.
they can say what.
Well, Zaid,
Dude,
up to you. Yeah,
dude, some
but
people think I'm a Muslim, and I just let them go with it.
well, I know
And
you're very
so,
knowledgeable. Yeah.
yeah, I know, and some people think I'm like Christian. I just let them go, and Hindu too. Like yeah.
Well, you know all about them.
No,
Someone
I
wants
know.
to know when your birthday is.
My birthday is this Saturday.
June 11th.
Jeanette, no, weirdo.
What?
No, weirdo. June, June. No, you said June 11th. That's what I said, June 11th.
You're like, maybe it is. Have you had your soda?
No, but I'm not going
Maybe
to
you.
have it either.
Why?
Oh no.
Did you stop soda?
No, I gonna stop soda. Why would I stop soda? Do you know when I start drinking soda? First of all, I'm gonna stop soda when I'm done, when I go away from this world. Okay, that's when
Yeah.
I'll stop
That's what I
drinking.
thought. I was gonna say maybe you should have your soda before our guest speaker comes on. So you're nice to them.
No, no, to the guests I'm nice, but to you it's different.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. Okay. Someone asked if you have Cash App. Yes, he has Cash App. It is
Yeah.
in the link in the bio. It is the Burn Survivor.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Without further ado, I'm just gonna bring Zaid on because I'm just tired. I mean, not Zaid, Chops on because I'm scared of Zaid when he's in a bad mood. What he's gonna say to me. He already called me
No.
infertile, so
Oh, yeah.
Zaid called me infertile.
No, I didn't call you. I said you're going to become my skin.
I'm going to become infertile. Yeah, yeah.
No, you still have a few more years, dude.
Oh, thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I know, but like until you 50.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh, I do have good genes. Well, without further ado, I'm gonna bring Chops on because you ready, Chops? Someone said, Zaid, what are you talking about? You know what? My friend actually just had a baby at 50. I mean, you have to go
No,
through
duh, but I
IVF.
know, but it's like a high risk though.
It's high risk and it can be done. It's usually not done naturally, but there's a lot of
No, I
science
know, but
out
then you're
there.
gonna have the wombs forever.
They have what? The wombs?
Yeah, like the wombs, the scars.
Well, it's 2025. Who knows what can happen? Um, does he have a PO box, a magic kit? I don't know what that is, but if you want to send a cash app and then leave a comment, or you can make a comment when the video is done and talk to me about what that is. I don't know. Zay, do you know what a magic kit is?
Nope.
No. You know what? I'm gonna get up so we can bring the speaker on. Um, okay, hold on.
Hey Zaid, how's it going? My name is Chops.
Hey, good. So far, good.
Nice. Josefa told me I should get on and talk about just some book stuff I'm working on and a lot of religion and art things like that.
Yeah.
But I've been working on a comic book that I thought you might find interesting, uh, based on various forms of mythology and religion and also magic,
Ooh,
all like the other kind of idea.
cool.
Yeah. Uh, I brought a painting. I know you can't see this, but your viewers can. But I've been working on this series. Here, let me just bring that out of the way. Of these video game mandalas. So trying to do like giant circular painting designs, but based on classic video games like Mario and Zelda from the 80s.
Yeah.
We know how much you like your video games, Zaid.
No, no. Like, I mean, I play video games, but not like I play more games before. So,
Oh,
but
that's fine. I
I
also
get the
like board
idea.
games.
Like, I get the idea.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've tried to make them like mazes, like labyrinth designs, and put every design in and everything. But the one behind me right now is based on Street Fighter, so more of a fighting game.
Um. So let me get this right. So the Annadala, it has is with the Hindus or is it with the Mayans? I always confuse them.
Both, actually. The mandala, the circular design shows up in a lot of different world cultures. All over the globe, people are focused on this idea of like the circle going into the center. And so even like the Greek ideas of the labyrinth, there's the Tibetan mandalas which focus on everything, and the Mayan calendar as well, like the sunstone that you're probably thinking of.
Yeah, I found it like coincidence. Well, not coincidence, but like how they like all these cultures did not know each other, but they all thought like, well, not exactly, but they all thought kind of the same thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's definitely a human connection to all of these ideas. Oh, one of the comments is asking to buy the painting. Unfortunately, this one's a commission. It already sold. But I have a lot of other ones available on my website. You can see that at wanderweird.com. I'll post the link to later on to stuff. Oh, yeah, I was just let's see. What are my books called? My books, so I've written three major comic books so far. The first one was called Remember. It was like a psychedelic meditation. So I used to work on sidewalks a lot, and people would come up and give me pamphlets to pitch various religions. And I wanted to make something to give back to kind of show how we create reality inside our heads and how humans have a lot of control over the creation of reality. And then I've got a couple on hand here. One called Apocryphon, which is the psychedelic Gnostic interpretation,
Ooh,
and done kind of like a pop cartoon style. Eh. And
that's
I'm working on
cool.
Thank you. It's been a lot of
Yeah.
fun. But the new one I'm working on is all based on more like medieval occult magic and fantasy and that kind of stuff.
What's that about?
So, okay, so I wanted to write a fantasy story. And so I was trying to do something like a 9-part story, like something big and epic. And so I did this one. Based kind of on Canterbury Tales, which is like an old medieval story about a group of 9 travelers, or they have even more, but they're traveling through this wasteland and telling stories to each other as the time passes. And so I use that format to really talk about uh, different magic systems. So, like, each member of the traveling group is a different type of magician historically. And so
Yeah.
each story they tell is based on their own take. Heroes in one or villains in another. There's a lot of contradiction, so people believe different things about their realities, and the stories it all comes through that way.
So like, it be so like their reality. You mean like they like whatever they believe, that's what their magic is, or something like that?
Yeah, they're all their systems disagree with each other, and some of them think that certain characters from history are heroes. Others believe them to be the greatest villains, and they strongly disagree on this and try to they argue about it in the real world, and then their stories will kind of illustrate that. But I've also tried to draw it. Oh, Recon. A person who's like a medieval occultist, it looks like a grimoire. While like another one, like the one I'm about to get started on, is more Celtic magic, and so it's got a lot of knot work and things like that.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's given me an excuse to just study old school magic and old historical books and try to draw them out. But it's been
Ha-
super fun.
have you like you personally, like what's your like I mean, like favorite. I mean, all cultures are amazing, of course, but like, which one have got you more like interested into it? Like, you mean like, I mean, like, for example, like, for me, like, what was interest, mostly to me were like the Mayan civilization because they saw uh things differently, than
Oh, very much.
others. And so like for you, like which culture that it got you like, you know what, like this one I really do love or something like that.
Oh, sure. They're all really fascinating to me. I was raised in Christianity, so that one has an edge on me. My first book was definitely Gnostic based, and so a lot of first century type stories. The current book I'm trying to keep mainly focused to European magic, just because I'm a white dude, so it seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah,
It would be awesome to do more Mayan stuff, though. I love their ideas. I just need to do a deeper dive on it and not just do cultural appropriation.
makes sense.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. Just an excuse to deep dive, explore all these old magical ideas, especially like first century. I feel like a lot of interesting things were happening in the Middle East in the first century. Um, Not just like like with the character of Christ, but also the Roman Empire and all those ideas coming together, Egyptian mythology coming into play, the Arabic ideas, and like astrology, and even some Chinese concepts were coming through back then with the opening of the Silk Road. And so you get an interesting merging of all the cultures into this one thing that seems to create something new.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. How about you? Do you have a culture that you mainly focus on?
um Not really. I always try to mix. Well, like I said, I used to be fascinated by the Maya, but then I started to explore other cultures. Like, because some people think that all cultures are the same, and perhaps they may have like a similar thing. For example, like Maya and Aztec, although they share the same kind of belief and everything, it was still different because it's like, for example, right now in the USA, like if you visit, I don't know, like Kansas or New York, they're yeah, they belong to the same country, but like you know, their laws are different, or like their way of acting is different, perhaps.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
so I try to explore other cultures, and then like you said, trying to combine in like one but not just focusing on that, also focusing on taboo topics that people, like don't pay attention to. Like for example, with the Men in Black and urban legends, and
Oh,
also like
sure.
the aliens, things like mixing it up
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'll focus about one thing, like I told you, Josefa, one time that there was this book that I was also writing, and it was about like how the humans meet the aliens, but they find out that like that they are humans advanced than them, but um they just, I don't know, like travel back in time or things, but also like mixing it up with a little bit of Star Wars, things, but I also not too much either, like kind of like its own thing.
I understand that. Yeah. I definitely like the idea of what the Greys as future humans coming back in time to try to affect human history so they don't get to the world that they come from, trying to save us from ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure about the others though, or any of the crop circle stuff as well. Although it is really cool effects, but maybe just really brilliant English artists.
I I think so. I mean, I would say there are some things that humans do, but people don't think that they could do it because um I don't know. I feel like this generation and maybe more generations to come, they'll think that people in the past, and when I mean in the past, I mean like in the old days, like the centuries, they think that people did not know stuff. They think that just because they live in the old days and
Oh yeah,
everything, people are kind of, I don't know, like I don't want to say it, but kind of stupid. Like they think
sure, I
like
get
that.
that. Like the pyramids couldn't have been built by Africans; it had to have been aliens. But I can believe that people were something was lost. Humans have been on the rock for a long time, and we're clever. We're clever, clever people.
Yeah, and maybe there was a way to do it. I mean, this this obviously does, like, I believe anything could be possible. Like eh,
Yeah.
aliens could have built it, either that or humans found a way to build it that perhaps with the times got lost. Like because through wars and earthquakes, volcanoes, like everything could have been lost. And maybe there was a machine that they used. Who knows.
Oh yeah. No, everything gets lost. We were talking about the idea of magic in the first century and like the burning of the Library of Alexandria. It was a huge collection of all these Egyptian magical systems, and a lot of stuff just got lost. And so, like, the only record we have of some of these books is people making citations to it, being like, "Oh, what that one guy said in his one book," and they'll quote a line from it, but that's like the only line that exists now. Everything else has just been lost.
True.
Oh, here I got a question this guy wants to ask. Can we ask what's your thoughts on Greek mythology?
On the Greek mythology, me personally, I like what's his name in English? Sales, I think. Wait, is that the word? I don't even know. But in Spanish, it's pronounced Zeus, and he's the powerful god, I think. And
Okay.
um, he I think he has a son. I'm not sure, but if I'm not mistaken, he was the, like, no god could defeat him. Something like that. I don't know how you say it in English though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah. I'm not familiar with that one. I'm not sure. But I do enjoy the Greek mythology. I think they're a lot of fun. It's I don't know, kind of like the Marvel universe, just very human heroes and characters.
They say that what's his name? Thor comes from that mythology, I think.
Oh, sure, he's Norse. In fact, there's this early, I want to say 6th century, I might be wrong about that, but this Icelandic scholar named Snorri Sturluson who claims that all of the Norse gods were actually survivors of the Trojan War. They were like Greek and Roman heroes that came north and started getting bands of Northmen to fight for them. But they were
Oh,
just humans, but they were, like, so good at fighting that the Norse guys thought, like, "Oh, this is Achilles or Thor," or various characters.
that makes
I
sense.
had oh, sorry, quick question. I actually have read Percy Jackson, it's good stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Name's
Oh, my name's Chops. Also, it's that guy with glasses, like, "That's me." But I do love Greek and Roman mythology. I think they're really fascinating. The Norse stuff as well. But recently, I've been leaning way more heavily into the medieval and like early Renaissance style, which I think is a lot more fun
What's so
because
fun about the evil?
it's well, it's like so it's all Christian essentially. So we have early Christianity and then the fall of Rome. And then when Rome collapses with the Visigoths and all that stuff, a lot of period happens. However, because of all the Arabic translations of like Socrates and Aristotle and all that, things that were translated into Arabic for those cultures and the Arabic scientists eventually get translated back into Latin. And so the medieval time period is when like you think of the monks and their monasteries writing the texts and relearning Latin, because this is all like English, and so like Anglo-Saxon, and none of them like they're learning Latin, but they're translating stuff from Arabic into Latin and back into Latin. I mean, like everything that would have been lost in the fires and all of the stuff like that gets taken back because of the Arabic scientists. And so I think that's really interesting to see how that how the cultures influenced each other. Especially like all of our systems of math and astrology mostly come from Arabic systems. And so in the first couple centuries, excuse me, in the early medieval time, we're rediscovering all these concepts and they're starting to write these ideas that connect all of them together. Even with some Chinese systems as well, not as much. It's mostly Arabic and African, and but like through a English Latin filter.
Yeah, I would say also they, that's how they spread. I think that's how they also spread Islam to Spain, at that time.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it does make sense that they translate Arabic to Latin because they did invade it, like, well, yeah, conquer some countries along the way. And I think, like you said, they influence, you know, um, I try to figure. I think also the I'm not sure, but I think I heard that the Hindus came up with the zero, right?
Yeah, I want to say it's Avicenna, I think, is the mathematician who invented that. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. Yeah.
Um, and I think, and they say that also, I mean, maybe they not cause a big impact like the Arabic, but it did. They say because of them now, like, you know, we can do like 10, 20s, and
Oh yeah. Well, even just the idea of zero, the idea of nothing being a symbol, something that you can conceptualize. Because a lot of the early math systems were just made for sale. People try you need like tally marks for the Roman system or something just to keep track of, how much you're selling. Everyone always thinks of like Ian Nessier, like a copper
yeah.
merchant whose complaints about him and stuff were like some of the earliest texts to survive.
So talking about that, one question I have: Does do you use magic like math? I mean, do you use math in the magic? Sorry, like in the books or comments do you write? Do you use some kind of math to like describe a character or something sometimes?
Oh, very much so. A lot of the drawings I try to do a lot of geometry. A lot of my early artwork is very psychedelic and leans heavy into geometry. And so, and I really do feel like mathematicians, that is magic. Like the Pythagorean cults, which based on like the a lot of the early math systems were considered to be magic at one point. And so you start finding like different even like music would be like a system of magic at one point, or and most of it's funny to read the old magic books because a lot of the people involved disagree with each other about if it's real or not. And most of them, like modern religions, are very much like what we think is real, what everyone else does is ridiculous. And so, like, I was recently reading Agrippa, and he's super into all of like the magical systems of Trithemius. But he's like, I've given up the vain sciences of music and mathematics; those aren't real. But ceremonial magic, that's where it's at, like a more elaborate prayer systems or things like that. So it's entertaining to kind of see how people will be looking at something similar but take different aspects of it.
And
But I
that's
definitely think go ahead.
oh, and that's another question I have. Like, what made you like? What made, see? I always had this question. I went to ask somebody. Maybe you know, but you see, if you go back to the old days, it was easy to believe like on paranormal things like magic stuff and
Oh, sure.
or whatever religion you were. But now I feel like people like anything that happens is like, oh, it's fake, or like, oh, this is
Oh,
not
sure.
real. You know, like what do you think that happens in this time? Like a lot of people lean more to science and stuff, but like your opinion, like what do you think it happens?
I think a lot of it is because, well, right now, post 17th century, we're like in Enlightenment era. And so the way that people view the world now is very much science is in charge, that the world is just a uh, a machine, essentially, that we know everything. We got it all down to a science and we know everything. So there's no room for mystery anymore. While in the past, science itself would have just been magic. I mean, even, well, here's a good example. This is what I always think of. So imagine you're a sailor, okay? So you're like on a boat and you're out in the ocean and you're no, you've been out in the ocean, nothing but water in all directions, no matter which direction. It's just infinite ocean in all directions. But you can see the stars at night. And every night, the stars are exactly where they are. They're in the same position. They're always there. There are some stars, actually planets, but you don't know that yet, that move, that change around, that move between the various star systems. And so those are like the gods. That's why the planets have god names. And so that idea of you can know where you are, the stars are constant, and it's like that's somewhat magical in its own space. That's where like astrology comes into play so heavily. Most people can't even see the stars anymore because of artificial lights, but those were the old gods. But now imagine that it's a stormy night and it's all cloudy and you can't see the stars at
Oof. So you cannot see the gods, in other words. Oh,
Here you go. Hey, we're
all.
back.
We're back. We
yeah.
cut out for a second. Anyway,
I miss you, Zaid.
the
Yeah,
basic
whatever.
idea is
That's
well, anyway, the idea of the stars being the basis of everything,
yeah.
and some of it being well, okay, here's a great idea. So there's a thing called the lodestone. It's essentially a magnet, right? This is like an early compass. They called it the mariner's compass back in the day, and even early Christians had, like Augustine in his City of God, were saying that it was demonic, that demons were the ones who pointed the magnet in the right direction for direct things.
Right.
But at the time, it would be like you could take a iron needle and rub it against a lodestone, which is a magnet, and then float it on some water, and it will point to the North Star every time. And so the whole idea was that it's magic. It points to that star, but it's really just using the Earth's magnetic field. So to answer your earlier question in a really roundabout way, that's what I think science is. I feel like it's just the magic of the time.
So, this is another question I have. So, like, do you think, obviously, the Bible, right? If you read like, if in the Bible, like it says, things like Moses used this, and like, um, you know, could I mean, I'm not saying it could be possible. I'm just saying, like, you think people could have tried to explain, like, some kind of, what's the word? Some kind of way to describe that Moses had a science, I don't know, like a machine or something that,
Oh, sure.
that got out the water, but they could not explain it, so they just say God something, if that makes sense.
No, I've definitely heard that before, and some of the descriptions, especially in Leviticus, are very specific to what they're trying to build. Like the breastplate of the priest having a specific stone set in a certain pattern. Um, and if you think about it, even like basic technology like your cell phone or something is Byzantine conduits of precious metals set into a certain pattern. So I can definitely see that as something that's possible. And even what we like the Ark of the Covenant comes to mind, to where it could be an electrical weapon. Like it's all gold, which conducts electricity, set into a certain pattern with everything on top. There's even a point where they carry it on wooden poles because it could be electrical. There's even a scene early on where someone puts their hand on it and God strikes them dead, or they just got electrocuted.
Yeah. So it'll be like, for example, it'll be like if we went back in time with, like, let's say, I don't know, like a bazooka, for example, and we
Sure.
we went back in time, right? And we sent a shot in the air. People will think, hey, that's magic. They'll call it like thunder god or something.
Oh, sure. There's a really great Jonathan Hickman book about that, to where it's like the Roman Catholic Church designs time travel to send a bunch of people back in time to the early Roman Empire with, as you say, bazookas and machine guns and stuff.
Yeah, let's see what the questions I have. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
um,
But I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to go back into there and just to imagine, because people then we're all the same. Like not much has changed. We have a little bit better technology, but a lot of our ideas and our stories really aren't that different.
True, and now we are more connect. I mean, either people don't think that way, but we're now more connected than before. I mean, before we had to, go from a horse, like, we had to walk or run. Now though, we can fly to the Middle East.
Oh,
mm,
sure. It's a smaller
discover
world.
things.
Oh yeah, definitely. The world's gotten a lot smaller, but I feel like
Well,
the ideas are pretty similar.
it is, and if you and that's why I also wanted to ask you, like, for example, this could this could cause a debate, you know um but like, people may have different debates and everything, but but people don't fight amongst yourselves. This is just, how you say, um uh a philosophy, okay? But the reason I say this is because if you compare, like, Islam, Christianity, and, like, Judaism, and, like, perhaps Hinduism, Buddhism too, I'm not sure. But if you connect them, like, take the parts that people disagree on and, like, connect the parts that they agree, you see that a lot of the ideas are kind of similar. For example, they all believe if you commit sin, you're gonna go to, like, you know um where that people go. um
Sure.
if you do good, you go to paradise. I mean, all these connections, like, I know sometimes people are like, no, my religion is right, no, my, and all these things, but if we look at it, like, from how our world is kind of connected, you're right, like, um the ideas are kind of the same in that circumstances. What do you think?
I think there's definitely a lot of connections. There's definitely some pretty strong differences, but I mean the big three ones that you mentioned even literally all have the same God. And so there's a lot of anger and focus on like the minor differences that we have between the cultures. But I do feel like the main focus is what they say, the golden rule. Be kind, leave the place better than you found it. Just try to be sweet to people. Don't be a dick.
Very much,
Uh,
and give birth.
oh, sure. Well, and the overall idea, even like Hinduism, which is less focused on that, is more karma, like the idea that we're all connected as one entity. And so it's not that you're going to be punished, for your sins or whatever, but that if you make the world a worse place, where else are you going to go? The world's still a worse place. It's like peeing in a pool or something. You're still swimming in pee. Just make the world a better place. So the world is better for you and for your children.
Some people believe that karma does not exist. I personally think mm, that I mean I know as Christians though some people are not allowed to believe that karma doesn't exist because that's not part of you know the Bible, whatever, But I personally think maybe sometimes life could, how you say, it could perhaps, um, perhaps it could bring you like um, justice, if that makes sense. I know why people don't believe in karma though, because sometimes, you know, let's say somebody does something bad and then they don't get justice, they're like, well, how does karma exist? And then when he went away from this world, he went away in a peaceful way, he didn't suffer. But I think um, that I cannot explain that part, but I know that sometimes like people, you know, do bad things and then they end up like I don't know, like they end up being um not in a good place, if that makes sense. Like
Sure.
uh
No,
yeah.
it's very human to want your enemies to suffer. But I really do think that the best way to handle it is what they say, the love your neighbor as yourself, to recognize that everyone is one. Like it's easier and just from a purely selfish reason, it's easier and better to live if everyone's kind.
And see,
And so
that's why I believe, that you know for example, for me though, I'm gonna share a little bit, a little, not too personal, but a little bit. You know, Sometime like there was this time when I had to forget a family member. It was a grandfather, because some kind of related to dark magic, whatever,
sure.
um, details, unknown. But well, I mean, unknown. Like, you're not gonna talk about it, but I had to like say, what's the point of me hating my grandfather? If I mean, I had to live, and I had no choice but to live. I mean,
There you
um,
go. What are you gonna do?
exactly, and I think most of the people. And that's what, not gonna lie, sometimes I'll say for anybody, not just Christians, Muslim, and I think for anybody, it's hard to like accept that sometimes, yeah, we go through hard things, but um we have to like keep going because otherwise that's just part of life, I guess.
Yeah, there's no other really option, man. One day at a time. It just keeps going.
um Another question I have is, so in the books that you write, the magic that you write about, is it um does it involve psychologically too, like, or it's just magic like fantasy?
The one I'm working on right now is fantasy. The first one was more psychological. The idea that reality is something that's created inside our heads based on our perceptions and memories of perceptions. and what people that we trust have told us. And so we create a story with our like by ourselves based on what we've perceived and what we believe to be reality. And this also kind of like is a reflexive thing where it starts to shape what we perceive. And so like you're viewing reality, but you already have kind of a rough idea of what you're going to be seeing. And so you see more and more evidence of that. And so, for example, like fundamentalist Christians will see a very, very different world than more aggressive scientific atheists. And the evidence they're looking for, they'll find it. So
For
that's what I'd
example.
say. Well, okay, so I was raised in a really fundamentalist Christian cult, and evidence of that everywhere. Everything you see, or you be like, wake up in the news, it's like check out the news or whatever, and it's just like, oh, obviously we're in the end times. Here's the prophecies. But then whenever I changed my mind and became more atheistic, it just seemed more obvious that the opposite was true, that they're just everything's science, everything's a machine, we're just animals trying to figure out what's going on. And now that my life has changed into more of a more open, magical perspective, I see that as well. I see whatever we want reality to be becomes that people have a tendency to see what they see.
So how would you now, like, how would you consider yourself, like, um, because some people, they confuse atheist with that, and like, um, but it's not true. Like, I mean, I know there's a word for it, but like, I mean, they confuse those two things.
Sure. Or like agnosticism, just being unsure.
Exactly. So, like, how will you consider your like self now?
Oh, myself?
Yeah, like,
I'm an artist. uh, I like all of it. I think it's all very interesting stories. I really like the idea of being able to entertain a concept without attaching it to myself, and then like taking a book off a shelf, reading the book, and then putting the book back down, and not assuming any of it is like the only reality, but just accepting that they're all very interesting stories.
how did you feel when you wrote the very first book, like the very first magic book?
Oh, it was so fun. It just gave me an excuse to just start researching, and you start finding all these really old, weird books. And within the last couple years, even there have been a lot of English translations of ancient texts that would have been lost to time. But it's just so fascinating to see kind of what people were thinking hundreds of years ago, and what's changed and what's the same. Because a lot of stuff, is based on misunderstandings of science, but applying a lot of it through like a more modern scientific perspective, I really do find fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when you wrote the second one, like, I mean, obviously you learn more about like the, magic or world. Like how you felt after that, because like I feel like as people get more, like, learn more about it, it's like, wow, like, I can't believe I did the first one. Now this is the, like, it's like you kind of saying like I'm coming back.
Oh, sure. It's fun. It just becomes something to fall into. I really do love projects and just working all day. Like I've literally been on this painting all day today. Just it's fun to fall into stuff and just stay on it forever. And books in particular, you can just, a project that won't be done for years.
So you mentioned music, and um you're right about that, because I heard some people say that whenever they hear classic music, like, for example, Mozart, or like Beethoven, or like even uh, Tchaikovsky, I think his name is called. um, when they hear those um, violins or instruments playing, they say it's so magical. It's like it feels like it relaxes you, it calms you down. Obviously, there's some people like, nah, I don't like it. But you know what I mean? Like, um, what do you think about that? Like.
Magic or music is definitely magic. I feel like it's frequency. We're just and certain ones like I mean Bach comes to mind first off, like the idea of how geometric his music was, how a lot of the times it will cycle upon itself, or I think of the crab cannon, which is like literally the beginning and the end. It's like a palindrome. Like it gets to the middle point and then it goes backwards from there and just layers on itself. And so I definitely think a lot of those early musicians were playing on the magical idea like that. And Pythagoras comes to mind as well, like the whole idea of how the string is set up on a guitar or any frequency. It's all based on that mathematical idea, not quite Fibonacci sequence, but something to that effect, to where it's just a method of mapping out frequency.
Yeah, and when I yeah, and when I hear the how you say it? I have I took a music class in high school because you had to take a music class for some reason. But so I took a music class, and the teacher there, he was like, "Today you guys are gonna hear how classic music sounded," and I thought it was gonna be like symphony, like I don't know, like Mozart, And he's like, "No, no, no, we're going to listen to how people make songs with the guitar." And I was like, "They make songs with the guitar," and then, when I heard it the first time, I was like, "Whoa!" Like, you know, it, I mean, back in the old days, probably if I was born in those days, I'd be like, this is the song I like or something. And like you said, well, I always think whenever I go and listen to any kind of music, really, I feel the magic, like the melody, and people use it for meditation, and they say that when you use it for meditation, the music calms you down. And if I'm not mistaken,
Definitely.
if I'm not mistaken, the Native Americans, and I'm not sure about the Egyptians and the others, but I think the ancient Egypt, sorry, the Mayans and all those things, they used um mm, what you call the instruments to for their ceremonies. When they
Oh
did
yeah.
ceremonies, they they played, and I guess that's another way they got connection, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. It's been a strong concept for humanity. Music draws us together. There's something about the beat and the frequency. Most definitely. Even to bring it back to magic, even the Spanish word to sing, encanta, to enchant.
Really?
Hmm. There's power to it. There's magic.
Have you used well, I don't think you can use music magic in in the poetry, but in the stories, I mean.
Oh, in the stories? Well, I guess I could. Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't. I haven't yet, but I imagine you could. I think of like Tolkien had a lot of his like Lord of the Rings stuff. A lot of that is the songs they were singing, and so you can definitely use music to capture certain stories. And I don't know the tune to it. It's kind of hard. You're just reading it, so it's not really. I'd always try to make up a song to go with it. But
What's the favorite painting did you make?
my favorite painting. Let's see. I did probably one of my first ones might be my favorites. It was based on this 14th century poem called Dante's Inferno, where the Italian poet Dante goes into the underworld and travels through hell. And so I drew that out as like trying to fit in everything from the entire story into one image. And it ended up taking about like 8 months. It was ridiculous.
Whoa.
But it was a lot of fun. That one's probably my favorite one. That's what really got me into all of this magical stuff, especially the idea of art being magic, that the math and geography or geometry and everything within that fits into that. And I just love that.
when you made this for the first time, like in your mind, would you like, I'm gonna get somewhere with this, or were you like, I'm gonna do this, see what happens, and then
A lot of it, yeah. You don't, yeah. You just started with an idea. I was actually taking a Dante's Inferno class. I was in college and taking a class on it, and I was required to do some type of big project to wrap it up. And so I did that as it. That probably wouldn't have inspired me to keep going with it if it wasn't for a grade. But once I finished it, it made me realize that I need to do stuff forever, I think. But that was a long time ago, but I can't stop. It turned something on in my brain. So
okay. And what was your favorite book? I mean, obviously you say you like a lot of stories, but like, what's you,
yeah.
you know,
Of all time? Oh
yes.
man, that's hard. Um, I'm reading through Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere right now again. I really enjoy those, especially his Stormlight archive. Uh, that would probably be it. Yeah, they're really good. It's a similar like 10,000 years of magical history that he's trying to explain, but it's pretty awesome.
That's cool. I haven't read a book, but I mean, the only book I read about magic was Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean,
If
some
you're
people may not consider it as a magic book, but I think it is.
Oh, it definitely is. Man, I would honestly, the first one is called The Way of Kings, and I'd strongly recommend it. It's extremely good.
That's the question I have for you now. It's like, so some of the books, without knowing, do you think, do you think like they're magic books without even knowing, but people don't see it as magic? For example, like
Sure.
Goosebumps and all those stuff.
Maybe. I'm trying to imagine which Goosebumps book would have done so, but anything, honestly, the act of reading itself is magical. You're literally just looking at symbols that represent words that represent an image in your brain, and you're literally just sitting there quietly hallucinating while reading or listening to someone read text. I definitely think there's magic in reading. Anything that uses the imagination, be it music or art or reading or anything, it's definitely magic.
Even reading the holy books.
Oh, sure. I would think so. Cool, because you're literally using the imagination power of your brain to create something. And so while there's magic in the text, the real magic's happening right here in your brain. We're creating reality.
Right. You know, no wonder why one of my I have a friend who's like a Jehovah Witnesses, and she told me
Hmm.
one time, like she said, Saeed, I don't let my kids watch this kind of magic stuff because, it's magic and it's blah blah, And I was like, and I thought, I mean, before you got to understand, back then I was like around 17 or 18, I was like, Harry Potter is not magic, like, like
Sure.
it's just a kid's book, Now though, I can see why she thought that, But
Oh, yeah. Well, what Rowling was doing in a lot of that is pretty similar to actual magic books. Like even a lot of the spells are pseudo Latin type things, and not too different from the actual if it was a real magic book.
so explain.
Well, okay, so I don't know any of the spells that they say, like anything that the characters are like saying out loud to cast their spells are taken from like they're mostly just Latin or a version of Latin, like Expelliarmus, like to disarm someone.
Oh yeah.
It's just a pseudo Latin word that you're just taking what you want to do but saying it in Latin. And a lot of that comes back to the medieval magics that we were talking about, to where like the monks all were learning Latin and writing down all their magical systems in Latin. It,
Why do you think that like the people wrote it in Latin? Like, what do you think they didn't wrote it, for example, like in their own language, like
sure. Well, at the
Arabic and
time,
stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's some of them did do it in Arabic, but a lot of the monks were trying to rediscover ancient Rome. And so they're learning Latin to actually go back to the past of a and this is when like this is like centuries after the fall of Rome. And so they're like finding ancient magics from these old timers back in Rome and only they have to learn Latin in order to do that. And so that's why they're using Latin. It's evil. They're trying, it's more like a early Christian take on everything. And so if they're learning Arabic, it's because they're trying to convert them.
Don't get me wrong, but some people do think that.
Well, not much has changed, I suppose, in some ways.
No, I mean, but I can see why. Cause sometimes, sometimes in the Islamic world, like you have to learn Arabic, to
Sure,
like speak, this holy words, and
absolutely.
I think it's a magic language too. At least me personally, I think it's magic language because and some people may not see it like that. Like I get it why,
Sure.
because but if you think
Well,
about it,
ancient,
it's ancient Arabic.
yeah. No, there's definitely power in the old words. I think of Kabbalah is focused mainly on the idea of Hebrew as the sacred language that God used to create the world. And so there's power in the ancient ways of saying it.
What ancient languages have you discovered throughout this? Reading so many books and like for your comics and stories.
I've done, and I'm not as fluent as I should be in any of them. I've learned bits and pieces of all of them. Like Hebrew is fascinating for its number system, and a lot of Kabbalah is based on like the shape of your mouth as you say certain words, or like how different letters. You have to use your tongue or your teeth or aspects of your throat to speak. And so that's what a lot of that is like the act of using those muscles to cast magical spells. um, and also the number systems and things like that are associated with it to where each Hebrew letter has a number system has a number associated with it, and so certain words have a value when you add all the numbers together, and so a lot of that is focused on that. I did take Latin in college, but I didn't. I'm not fluent. I just learned enough to kind of be able to get through
Yeah. Well, don't feel bad. Some people say
it. Yeah.
English is Latin, so
Oh yeah, right. You're not wrong, honestly. Yeah, it's Latin through a German French filter, essentially.
yeah.
If it's like a single syllable, it's German. If it's longer, it's probably Latin.
This is why sometimes I feel shocked when I know German words. Like, how you say hello? Oh, it's just hello. I'm like, what?
Sure, yeah.
Like, yeah, like, and then
Yeah.
they're like, but also I also see like, um, mm, I think Latin influenced many languages, though. To be honest,
Oh yeah, all the Romance language. There's definitely a lot, like any of the yeah Spanish as well, and all of the any Latin, any Romance language definitely has a lot of Latin in it.
so maybe you don't know this, perhaps, but the question I have is: do you think Latin and like the language, like they have to come up from all languages, of course, but like Slavic, like the language, do you think maybe, I mean, they're not similar, but do you think they could have come from like all languages, like, ancient languages, of course,
Oh, sure. A lot of them have similar roots, but there's been a lot of exploration done on how they've evolved and changed throughout time. Um, but like Arabic is dramatically different, for example, from like Mandarin Chinese or any of the Slavic or the Teutonic languages. Like German has its own side of it. But I mean, English is all like the Anglo-Saxon kind of style. But I can see how it takes its influence because a lot of it, because like the people who were in that culture were trying to base a lot of what they were doing on ancient Rome, and so it makes sense that they would be following a lot of Latin.
Makes sense, yeah. No, no.
Yeah.
I heard how the old English sounded one time, and I was like, ooh, like it sounds different, you know.
Very much so.
The only thing I understood from that language was that it was the word was. That's all I understood, and like I didn't understood, other things. And I showed it to my back then I had a stepfather, and I showed it to him. I'm like, hey, look, this is how the old English used to sound. And he's like, nah, wait, that's not how the old English sounded. Like, yeah, I did. Like, that's what they say. I mean, that's what they say. So I'm not sure, but
Oh yeah.
So, um, mm, do you have any book like do you recommend like that's good, like magic book? I mean,
Oh, magic books.
yeah.
Let's see. Alan Moore, the comic book writer, just put out a really excellent book of occult magic called The Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic, which is trying to explain his own version of Kabbalah, more like Kabbalistic magic systems, but also as kind of like an apologetic approach toward it, towards like trying to explain it to someone who doesn't know anything about magic. Um, That'd probably be the best modern one. Also, he also wrote another comic book series called Promethea, which is worth reading. It's a fiction story, but essentially it's kind of like a Wonder Woman character, but her magical powers are Kabbalah. And so as she's becoming the hero, she's like going through all the initiations of Kabbalah and through that magic system. And so it's a really great introduction to all of those ideas. Um, I'm also a big fan of most chaos magic books. I think would be a good start. Um, Liber Null by Peter Carroll is really straightforward. It basically is the idea that magic or belief itself is a tool, and whatever we believe to be reality becomes reality, and so we can use that to recreate whatever we're trying to do.
You know, that's that's something I want to, you know, touch based on, So there was this there was this um there was this video I watched on YouTube, right? And it said top 7 books that perhaps they will have chased you or whatever, back then, because people were scared of evil magic,
Sure.
especially back in those days. So, you know, they they uh they said that there was this book that um old uh male witches, I don't know what they're called in English, sorry.
No
But
worries.
witches that were men, they used this book about it was called scared to psychologically. This means like
Hmm.
they would this one thing is believing magic, believing if it's real or not. That was one thing. But
Sure, there's a lot of power there.
yeah, but the book uh, gave instructions how the witch men had to do to cause fear and make people believe that, oh, he's using magic, when it really was only their mind, And I thought,
Sure.
whoa, like that book understood the psychological mind perspective even way before, even way even way before the psychology discovered this. The people discovered this about the psychological stuff, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah. There's definitely a lot of power in that. And I feel like Witches comes to mind, to where it was written, um, essentially because people were burning witches. This is during the European witch hunts,
Oh
and he
yeah.
was like, "Hey, it's just magic tricks. Don't burn people." And that was like one of the earlier books about it, just being like people are using this power to kind of control, to tell stories, but it's not like stop burning people. I always found it interesting that people are more afraid of witches than they are people who would burn people.
Well, according to according to the gods, it's, I mean, according to them, they're doing the right thing because,
Still terrifying.
I know, I guess I know. According to them, it was the right, but I don't think it was right. And actually, did you know that when the Spanish came and conquer, the Americas, there were there were a lot of books too. Actually, no, no, not books. A lot of plants that could heal stuff, and we lost all that because the Spanish tried to destroy everything. Not just the Spanish, of course, but probably the English too. I'm not sure, but I'm saying it because the Spanish were known for their brutal stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm sure other Europeans were too, but I'm talking, from my culture, uh, and so a lot of those things were lost, and I wonder, if perhaps they will not have been burned, perhaps there'll be plants that could heal stuff right now that, like different sickness, like for example,
Absolutely.
maybe cancer, or maybe
Who knows?
yeah. But that's the
Never.
thing. People don't think about the future, they just think about them and the present.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you guys answer after you?
Oh no, you're fine. I was just agreeing with the basic idea that there's a kind of a colonizer perspective to where any culture that is not our own is not even human. And even like the early Puritan idea that you can torture someone because it's just their physical body. It's we're trying to save their soul, and so it allows you to do horrible, inhuman, demonic things to fellow human beings in the idea of the greater good. And
I
I,
always
I
say, I always say, the demonic ones are the ones that are, how you say, um, the ones that like, what's the word? The ones that got the witches burn or something like that. Because a lot of people, some of them were not witches. Maybe there were some witches, that fell, but there were some people that didn't even have to do nothing with that, and they just,
Hmm. It's still not as bad as burning people. I don't know, man. I
no,
even
no,
if
I'm
you're
saying
calling out to
the
nature
bad
gods,
ones. No, no, what I'm saying is the bad ones are the ones that burn the witches. Like,
I think so too.
you know.
I definitely think so. I mean, that sounds a lot more satanic to me, honestly. If you're worshiping an evil god that demands human sacrifice like that, that could
And
see
I
that.
and I think those people back then, they didn't read the Bible correctly, or they misinterpret it.
Sure, it's written in a way to where whatever you want it to be, you can find justification,
And
even
I
in the
would
modern
say,
day.
that's the scary magic of that Bible. I mean, some people may think it's not scary, but actually it is, because you not just the Bible, but I think any holy book can be scary, because not because of the good things. No, no, no. I'm saying it because the people create the magic because they misinterpret it. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Sure, I understand that.
and see, that's the thing about any book. I think that's the magic, that you can interpret it in a way that sometimes you may be satanic, I mean, or sometimes you can be good, I don't know. I think that's the magic of any book, to be honest, not just holy books, but I think any
Sure.
book.
Oh, sure, it means what you think it means, and this is the creation of magic. That idea that reality is a mirror, and whatever you see in it, it becomes that.
Anything you want to talk about, let me know, because, like, I don't know, like,
All
what
right.
to talk about now.
Oh, you're fine.
Zaid, do you want me to come back, or I was thinking maybe he could read one of his books if you want, or we could just talk.
Yeah, he
I think I've
could.
covered pretty much everything I want to. I can show
Yeah,
you guys some stuff, I suppose. Yeah, come on in, yo.
Oh, well, Oh, my knees, Zaid. I'm getting old. It hurts.
Sorry, dude, but I want to tell you.
Ugh.
I guess I could talk about this current one I'm working on,
Yeah, go ahead.
or what do I got? Maybe this previous one here. This is a fun one. This was the Gnostic one I wrote. It's called Apocryphon. So a lot of it is based on the Gnostic heresies, which were a 6th century Jewish and Christian cult. Which so before Christianity became like modern Christianity, like with the Council of Nicaea deciding what the Bible is, it was just a collection of letters sent by Paul and other church fathers, and there was a lot of difference and variation in the from church to church and from practicing group to practicing group, because at the time most of it's happening in their homes. And so
Right.
Gnosticism was the idea that the God of the Old Testament is, I'm simplifying it, but the idea that the God of the Old Testament is the devil of the New, that the entity who believes himself to be in charge of this world and believes himself to be God is not God and is actually more of a jailer. They call him the demiurge. And so I wrote this book called Apocryphon, which was meant to be a retelling of Gnostic mythology. And so, book one is Genesis. It's a retelling of a creation story. Book two is Gospel. It's like a questioning Christ Buddha story. And three is Revelation, dealing with the end of the world and the collapse of information. But all of it's done in like this really colorful psychedelic perspective. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
We're reading you guys
I don't really want to read it.
a
But I'll
bedtime
just kind of show
story.
it to you.
No, we're just showing you. Hi guys. While everyone's in here, I've just been sitting on the floor feeling so left out. I miss you, Zaid. Anyways, we'll get back to the book. But while everyone is in here, please like and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by tonight. If you want to donate to Zaid, the Cash App is in the pin. If you want to buy a Chops' artwork or a comic book or get something commissioned, his website is also in the pin. Zaid is real. Zaid is visually impaired. Zaid is turning 22 on Saturday. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. Back to the book.
I feel like I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
Oh,
But I can just kind of flip through and give a rough idea of what the art looks like. But I don't know how well you can see all that. But I wanted to tell, I'm just going to go off if that's all right with you. So, book one. Honestly, you can also read the entire thing for free on my website. All these exist online. But just wanted to, kind of as you were saying, like the idea of storytelling as being the magical system. And so at the very beginning of the book, we start with the storyteller coming down the mountain, and he begins to tell a creation story. And we start with the creation of galaxies, moving into stars, and then planetary systems as well. And what I wanted to do in this one was kind of explain through somewhat of an evolutionary perspective and scientific, but also the idea that what separates humans from animals is that humans tell stories. That's what really sets us apart. That we're able to just talk and create reality just by saying stuff. Like I can tell you about a character and make them real from that perspective. And even though they're not, like some of the most important fictional characters, like where they say Luke Skywalker's a bigger influence than George Lucas.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter if Jesus was real or not. The character has still had way more of an impact on human history than me, a real person, has ever had. And so it doesn't matter if these fictional characters are real or not, they're still more influential and still more crafting on reality than real people can be. And so that was chapter one, which is all just about humans and creating stories. Chapter two is more about questions, but mainly done through like a Christ narrative, like the idea of the Christ or the Buddha at the foot of the tree, or any magical adept. And then I'm also very fond of this Demiurge character. And then, so the Christ character is all about the idea of questioning one's reality, and through this, he starts to realize that he's a fictional character within a story. And so it follows the basic Christ story, like the temptations in the desert and all of that, but becoming aware that you're a character in a story and you can shape your reality, especially as a fictional character, which causes the narration kind of to collapse. And so this will lead to chapter 3, which is Revelation, which is the end of the world, which is the destruction of all things and the fall of information. And that one's done through like this stage magician telling stories. And a lot of it follows the book of Revelation, like the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns and all of that stuff, but just an excuse to illustrate them all. And the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and all of that. But they just heavy lean into all of the conspiracy theory stuff. But yeah, that's that one. But yeah, thank you for letting me tell you about it.
No, no problem. It's nice to learn about other interesting, like, when you mix cultures, I think is good than just focusing on one specific. And you seem to like do it in a good like way, like understanding.
Absolutely. There's something to take from each culture. You learn a lot just from being open-minded and reading as much as you can. I do love it.
Is it soda time, Zaid?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
You
right.
want to take a break and drink some soda?
No, it's okay.
Well, thank you for talking to me, Zaid. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go. But
Okay, no
hopefully
problem.
talk
Thank
to
you
you
so
again.
much.
Yeah, cheers. Have a good one. Let me do a quick plug if you guys are into my art at all. Wanderweird.com is the website. You can read all my books for free and see all my art. It's WANDERWEIRD. Thanks.
If you didn't hear that, it's also pinned. Zaid's gonna get a drink. If you watch our show, you know that Zaid needs his nightly soda. Oh. Yeah, really cool conversation. I totally agree with you. Chops is so humble and he's so brilliant and smartest guy I've ever met. Hi, Asha. Oh, your buddy. Want to see my doggy? Visit my puppy? Hi, puppy. Hi, Dashi. Come here. Hi, buddy. Um, but Chops' story is so fascinating, and I hope to get him back on the show to talk more about it. And also, obviously, because it's one of Zaid's passion is culture, language, mysticism, mythology. I know it's my puppy. Say hi. No, you can't go there. You can't go there. Come here. Want this? Want this? Oh, you want this? Oh, you want this? Oh, the puppy. Oh, the puppy. Give me a kiss. Or kiss. Kiss it. Oh, he's a good sitting. He's a good sitting boy. I gave him the smallest rice grain. Hi, buddy. He's a cute boy. Hi, buddy. Oh, want some? What do you got there? Coke?
I don't even know. Oh, it's Pepsi.
It's Pepsi. Honestly, I kind of want one too.
There is no Coke in this house. There's not allowed.
No, not allowed.
No.
Pepsi family.
No, Josefa,
Could have sworn.
it has something
Oh,
to do with
also,
politics.
oh, okay. Also, if you guys want to donate, I saw someone wants to donate. His Cash App is linked in the bio, or it's also in the pin. It's the Burn Survivor.
Hey, just
Hey,
in case if
Yasha.
this thing dies, don't close it. I may join in from the iPod Touch.
Okay.
Like,
You're not plugged in?
no, yeah, like I'm gonna charge the phone, but the iPod, like I can still log in through the iPod.
Okay, sounds good. An iPod? You can do this through an iPod?
It's an iPod Touch, so yeah.
Oh. The last time I saw an iPod, I think, was you when you were 12 years old, and it was like this little thing that was like an inch big, and it could
No,
fit like 60 songs.
it's an iOS device.
Oh, I see. I know nothing about that.
They don't
I
make
really
them
don't know.
anymore, but actually I don't know. Actually,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't think they make them anymore. I think I only have because this is an old iPod too.
I'm not sure. Does it have video?
Yeah, it has everything, do YouTube and all this stuff.
Oh.
But
My
it's
dog's on
not.
the stream right now.
But it's not like.
Okay, I'll open the door. Hold on, my dog's trying to get out of the room.
See, your dog even doesn't even like you, dude.
People that are new be like, "Oh my god, he's so mean all of a sudden."
So,
Did you like that speaker? I feel like you would have so many questions for him, and that was really good.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we can have him back on if you want. If you want to like think of more questions, because it's a lot, and um he has this master's degree in all of this stuff, and he has a really fascinating backstory. Do you mind
I
getting
know.
me a drink?
I know. I can ask you that because you're like, I don't know. Or like you'll be like, let me search on AI.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I just go to AI and ask it all the questions.
My
Like,
gosh, you're so
what
funny. You know AI could lie to you
time
sometimes,
is
right?
it? It doesn't lie to me intentionally.
You know that,
It just
right?
doesn't know that it's lying to me.
No, it could.
It could give me false information, but it wouldn't intentionally lie.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe it could. I don't know. I don't
Ask
know.
ask something like, I don't know.
You
The America commit crimes at war times.
you want me to ask
No,
that?
don't do it.
Okay.
No, don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. But, but I'm sure they did. Vietnam.
Already, it's already happening.
I told you not to, dude.
I have a drink too. I'm drinking a Spindrift. Have
Whatever
you ever
that
heard of
is.
that?
No.
It's sparkling water with real and squeezed fruit.
Gross.
Oh my gosh, the first thing it came up with was Vietnam War.
Ha. Told you.
I can I can read it if you want, or we don't have to.
Now read it to yourself and tell me what you think.
Let me see. Okay. Okay, you were definitely right. The Vietnam War. I'm gonna pronounce this so terribly, but the Lai massacre. Do you know how to say that?
First of all, it's no. But
Uh-oh. What is it? How do you pronounce it?
just
You
make it
don't
up.
know?
No.
The LAI massacre.
Oh, LAI, lie.
Lai massacre. Okay. And then it says the use of napalm and Agent Orange. Yeah, I know about that. Then it talks about World War II, firebombing.
No, are you telling me America commit crimes of World War II?
I mean, ChatGPT is saying it, so it must be
But I,
true.
I thought they were heroes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that atomic bombs weren't illegal at the time.
Well, no, but
Wow, the Iraq War, war in Afghanistan. I mean, this goes on and on.
I think they just commit crime everywhere. I mean, every
Yeah,
war
I
they've had.
agree. I agree. I agree. If you guys are watching, please like and subscribe. We have a goal of hitting 1,000 people tonight. Once this channel is monetized, we'll we'll be able to make more content and do more fun things. And I know we talked about it last week. but we're trying to raise money to get Zaid's friend to the United States from Indonesia by July. So all the Cash App donations go straight to Zaid, and all the money that comes in from the monetization will be used to do more interesting things like flying in his friend from Indonesia that he's been dying to meet for 3 years. Thank you so much, Grape Juice.
That's his name.
Grape Juice. Grape Juice. I'm trying to read through the comments. Our ban was lifted.
Finally.
Yep. That is going crazy. Do you know what 67 means?
67?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a number.
No, I think like kids your age use it. I don't know. The chat was going off on 67 for a really long time.
What's 67, dude?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, what do
I'm
you
looking it
know,
up.
dude?
I'm looking it up. I think it's Gen Z talk.
What's Gen Z?
Um, I have Gen Z. I think that's your generation. Gen Z.
Gen Z. That's not my generation, dude.
What is it?
I I don't even know where I belong to be honest. I think I belong in the 1900s.
No, I mean like you would be like I'm a
No, I'm not a
millennial.
boomer, dude. I'm not a boomer, that's for sure.
I know you're not a boomer because you'd have to be like 60, 70.
Yeah, no, I could be a young boomer. Who knows?
Well, mentally you are.
No, I mean, I just say I could be a young boomer.
Oh my god, you are a Gen Z. I knew
Yay.
you were Gen Z. It's not a surprise.
But I don't like the
Uh
Gen Z people, man. They're so sensitive. Sorry. But it's true.
Gen Z is 1997 to 2012. You
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
what does 67 mean? He doesn't know. I don't know. I think it means you're a goat.
Go.
It means you're really cool.
We talking about Chinese New Year?
No, what's your Chinese New Year? Do you know?
I think it's a rabbit.
You're
Which are
2004, right?
no, not 2004. 2003.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that's why I said if you think I'm like 19 or 18, you're wrong, dude.
No, I know you're 22. It says that, oh, the water goat. Oh, well, look at that.
Mm.
You're double goat. The element is water, and this says your personality traits are gentle, artistic, empathic, and thoughtful. Water goats are known for being intuitive, adaptable, and emotionally deep. I think that's definitely you.
No.
100%.
Mm-mm.
You're I mean, gentle, no, but are you artistic and you're empathetic and you're thoughtful
What you
when
talking,
you
dude? Gentle, not for
post
sure, dude.
soda. After your soda, you're nice.
No, dude, I'm still. Dude, what do you think I'm shouting at you?
Okay, drink faster.
I'm gonna drink
No, but
faster, dude.
what did you think of Chops Wonder Weird, the speaker we had on?
I just told you, I think he was good.
Yeah, would you like to have him back on sometime?
Well, if he wants to come back, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to get him to read his comic book.
Dude, I don't think he'll read it, dude.
You don't think so? I think he would.
No, dude, it's too long.
It is long, but that might be nice to just sit back and listen to a book. Maybe
Dude,
the listeners can just listen.
yeah, for sure. I may fall asleep though. I'm just warning you. Don't get me wrong. I sleep through any book, even the Bible itself.
Well, that's pretty boring.
I
I would
know.
fall
I
asleep.
like I said, I had to, dude. Don't get me wrong. I had to do something when I read. Okay, like I had to eat, you know.
I know if I read at night, that's it. I'll read like half a page and I'll fall asleep.
No, dude, like I'll just start reading anything. The only thing I would say, the only thing I don't read, the only thing I read and it keeps me up is scary books. That's it. And
Yeah, I can see that. Scary books, scary
I,
movies.
I take interest on that. But if it's like a holy book or like any nice book, I'll be like, good night, dude.
Have you ever oh man, what is that book called? Oh, it was the scariest movie I've ever freaking seen.
Scream.
And what?
The Scream.
No, it wasn't Scream. Oh man, it
What?
literally traumatized me.
The Slim Love Woman.
Oh man, I don't want to
The
get like in
Ring.
trouble for this. No, that was scary though, but no, it wasn't like that. This was
Mm,
oh,
the Haunted
Chopstick
Mask.
no. No, I want to
Uh,
say
the
uh,
Winchester House.
no. One of the scenes is the girl. Okay, maybe you guys can help me
The
remember
Woman
it.
in Black too.
Are you just saying words?
No, like, I don't
You're like
think
the
it's a.
scary lamb, the
There, there's
black
some
carpet.
no, there's some movies, dude. That they like they have the names, dude.
Oh, someone said the Winchester house is freaky.
No, I need to watch it. Don't spoil it.
Okay, don't spoil it. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't care. You're not gonna see it.
I'm probably yeah, I'm blind. If you didn't know.
No, weirdo. I mean, like you probably won't see it because every time you like, I'm doing something. I was like, okay,
I
cool.
I watched a movie. I watched the worst movie of my life last night. It was the weirdest movie
Really, do
I've
you get
ever seen.
complaint here?
No, it was so Zaid, I'm telling you, it was the weirdest fucking I don't know if I can swear. It was the weirdest freaking movie I've ever seen. We just got over a band, so I'm like trying to be like, welcome to our show.
Wait, they banned us for
But no,
cussing?
I don't know. I think it's because people thought you were AI, so they kept reporting, but I don't know. We don't know, but the band's gone.
Why you say I mean, I cuss every time and doesn't happen. So
I don't think I don't think that's it. It was like don't swear excessively, and we aren't swearing excessively. But let me tell you this: I would watch the Greasy Strangler. Has anyone in the chat seen the Greasy Strangler?
sounds too lazy to be honest.
It was so
Greasy.
weird.
Why
Uh,
was there? I mean, this is just curiosity, but was there sex scenes too?
yeah, there were a lot, and like you could see, they
Yeah,
really focused on the men's part. Can't talk about, too many sexual things on this. I don't think that's also something we could get banned for. So let's just say that when they were wearing their costumes, they had prosthetics where their special parts were to make them look extra strange.
that's all you
But
do.
they had body suits on, like, this older man who was, like, the greasy strangler would, like, cover himself in grease and then go and strangle people. He was, like, a 70-year-old man, and then he would, like, go to the car wash naked, where the
Yeah,
guy who ran the car wash was blind, and he would
this
just
is why.
stand in the car wash to get cleaned after he just, like, killed people. Anyway, this old man was super freaky, and he was obsessed with disco, and when he went disco dancing, he'd wear a full body disco suit with, like, a mesh cutout where his special parts were, where you could just see his
Dude, I like what you
prosthetics.
said, dude.
Oh my someone just said that's your favorite movie. That cannot be your favorite movie.
So, I mean, hey, if there is, if there's baboon there, perhaps. I mean, who knows?
Baboon?
If it's romantic one, if it's not romantic one, I'll be like, hey, you know what? Maybe not.
No, this was not a romantic. This was weird, and
Oh,
it was
Was it hurt ones?
Hurts? The
Yeah,
director?
like like where they didn't like it, you know.
Oh, no, 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 it was just, it was, like, weird and awkward for the sake of being weird and awkward.
Man, that's unusual because usually adults like that.
It wasn't that they didn't like it, it was that I don't know how to explain it. It was just strange, let's just say that it wasn't reality. It was not based in reality.
Oh. Well, duh, dude. What you want it to be real?
No, I mean, like, the whole movie in it itself. Well, let's back up. Does anyone know the movie let's scratch Greasy Strangler because that was
That is the
maybe you
name,
should
though.
oh my god, Hootie Tootie Disco Cutie. Oh my god. So you have to watch it. There's this scene where they stop like, they can't stop saying "Hootie Doody Disco Cutie," and like, "Hootie Doody" or "Hootie Doody, Hootie
Nah,
Tootie."
dude. Nah, dude. Sounds
Yeah,
boring.
it was weird. Like, I kept stopping it and being like, "I'm done," and then I'd be like, "I have to see what happens."
Nah, dude. That
Uh,
that sounds like it's made for white people.
Probably. I yeah, for sure. I think everyone in the movie was basically white. I think the lead female was I think she was Hispanic, actually. Yeah, it was I don't know, maybe you should watch it, but I'm talking about the movie where, the brother's driving and the girl sticks her head out of the car, and she hits
And she
her head.
crashes.
Yeah. I don't wanna say
Wow.
too much 'cause I don't and the family is haunted,
The premise of
and they live in the attic, like, the haunted family, and the mother's on the ceiling.
yeah, sounds lame.
No, I'm telling you, it is the scariest movie I have ever seen, it will get into your
You just
head.
said it was weird. What are you talking about?
No, no, I'm talking about this other movie, I can't remember the name of it, so
Oh,
if someone in the chat could help me remember the name of this movie, that would be great. Also, if you're watching, please follow, our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers tonight. Zaid and I stream every Tuesday night. Hereditary! That's the name of the movie. Hereditary
oh
was so traumatizing. Have you seen Hereditary?
no. But it sounds boring.
Oh my god, you're so annoying.
It's
Ugh.
annoying, dude.
So, okay, tell me you don't wanna tell me what you're doing on your birthday? Oh,
No, dude. I already posted. That's what I'm doing, dude. Oh, oh.
you okay? Just dying?
No, no. I was just looking. No, but really, dude, if it dies, don't like log out yet. You know.
I won't, yeah, I won't. Someone asked how we met at the blind school, um, 12 years ago. Someone said, "You're not annoying." Are you still there? Okay, so Zaid's page probably froze, so we'll just wait till he, like, comes back on the channel. If you guys have any questions about Zaid, I can answer them for you, or about the show, or what we're doing, or what our goals are. Thank you, Lachelle. Zaid was in a house fire when he was 2 years old. He is a burn survivor. Um, I'm not legally blind. I'm not blind or visually impaired. I was, but I'm not anymore. We are not a money scam. Zaid is real. If you guys wanna for those saying that you don't think he's real, you could just Google Zaid Garcia, or Officer Garcia, burn survivor, and there's tons of news articles about him. I don't know if that's his brain that you can see. I think it's just scar tissue. If it was, I mean, it's definitely not his brain because there's the skull that is protecting the brain. His brain was not burned, but most of his extremities were, including his jaw and his nose, his eyes, his ears. He's visually impaired because his eyes weren't damaged. So when he was a baby, they did surgery and they put skin over his eyes to protect them while he healed. And then he opted not to have surgery to get his vision back. He still has that option if he wants, but right now he is not doing any more surgeries because he's had dozens and dozens of them and he just kind of wants to chill and, you know, be a normal young adult right now. Zaid was an honorary police officer for 1 day. Yes, his whole body is burned. Um, Zaid turns 22 on Saturday. Yeah, I don't blame him either. It's Zaid's you know, choice to see or not. Thank you, Mira Mira. Yeah, he's really adapted. When I met him, he was 12 and he didn't speak English. He's from Mexico. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, he can't see because there's skin over his eyes. There's nothing particularly wrong with his eyes, but there's skin protecting it. So he can see shadows and things moving. And he does see everything that you write because of dictation, where he, you know, yeah, Reb, keep putting let's hit 1,000 subs. We really need to hit 1,000 people by tonight. Or Zaid will be really mad at me. We're trying to get this page monetized. So to kind of turn it into Zaid's full-time job, basically, where we create content. We have a TikTok now where he doesn't want to do TikToks, but we do have a page that we post some stuff on. And we messed around during the pandemic, made a bunch of videos. We never monetized it, but there's a lot of views on that. Um, and he's not like a really money driven type of person or views type of person. Like we had one that hit 25 million and he's like, just delete it. So I had to delete the video with 25 million views. But anyways, now he's getting older and he realizes the importance of money. So we are trying to do that. And all the GoFundMe, all the Cash App money goes to Zaid. And the more income that we can get in, like he can have a more free lifestyle, and he really wants to fly in his best friend that he has never met. They've been friends for 3 years and she lives in Indonesia. She's also blind. um I'm reading. Oh, here we go, he's back on.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, finally. Do you hear me okay?
I can hear you, I can't see you.
What? Dude, let's not start this again, dude.
No, I really can't see you. Zaid has this thing where he thinks I'm like blind. I'm
What
not.
what do you see?
I see nothing.
What?
hmm
Uh,
Carson, blind people can live pretty functional lives with being blind with technology. Um, if you're interested in learning about more about like blind culture and how people adapt to their circumstances, there's a lot of resources on YouTube, I'm sure.
Oye, no. Dice que la cámara no está prendida, sí.
So the point of this
No,
live
pero tú
is
no te ves.
that
Oh,
Pero ella sí se ve, pero tú no. ¿Por qué?
no sé.
A lo mejor la cámara está volteando para allá, ¿no?
No sé.
¿Dónde está la cámara?
La cámara.
Oh, entonces nomás voltearlo. Voltearlo nomás para contigo.
¿Pero dónde está?
Ahí, 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 arriba. No, arriba. Ahí.
Nada. ¿Verdad que no?
No. Pues sí. Ahí está. ¿Ya ves ahí?
¿Ya?
No.
Nada.
Ahí dice cámara.
Pero
Ya
sí,
ves.
pero sí me veo.
No, no te ves, nomás ella.
No sé.
Paige, they said that he
A ver
wouldn't
ahí.
survive. That's why we call him the burn survivor or the
Creo que aquí
miracle
no hace
survivor.
nada.
Thanks, Lachelle. Yeah, he was a miracle.
No.
Thank you, Lachelle. That's so sweet.
¿Verdad que no?
No.
Yeah,
Creo que
his mom is in the background
creo
helping.
que es el iPod.
¿Y por qué con el otro no?
¿Por qué se murió?
Pues dígale que que vas a cargar tu teléfono un rato.
No, ya está cargando, pero
Pues sí. No, pues sigue hablando, como quiera ella te ve.
pues sí. No, dice que no, pero bueno. You know, you don't see me, but I see you.
You can't. Oh, it's just, what's going on with your
I
iPod?
don't know. I think it's the iPod Touch.
Okay, we
I
don't
don't know
need it.
why. Yeah, I don't know why. And
It's
I
okay. I
switched
mean,
it.
next time just keep your phone charged.
Well, next time. Wait. Let me think of something I can shout at you. Wait.
Okay.
Mm, let's see. Let's see. Next time, maybe perhaps. Actually, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, Zaid, we have 563 subscribers. We're so close to 1,000. If you guys are watching, please subscribe. Zaid and I stream from this every Tuesday night.
Yep. And if we get to
Someone,
1,000, we leave.
yeah, we're like, bye. Someone asked what the point of this live was. What's the point of our show?
What is the point of a show?
Um,
I guess to have fun together.
it's to have fun, to have a sense of purpose, to bring income to Zaid, to create and to create a routine.
Yep. And,
And
and because I always wanted to do a podcast, but I don't know where it's gonna go. And I mean, we're gonna discover it together, pretty much.
yes, we are. And I think I really liked having him on. I really liked bringing speakers on. Maybe, um, it could be sort of like there's me, you, and then I could send the link to them. So it'd be like 3 people in one screen.
Could that be?
I think you can share the screen with as many people as you want. I'm not sure.
Oh no, I never tried it with 3. I mean, I tried it with 1, but
Yeah, someone said, Mira said a podcast is a great idea. So this is essentially our podcast,
pretty much.
pretty much, yeah. But we're not in the same state, so we can't like sit together and you know do. You know what? But do some people like I do watch some podcasts where they're not physically together and they just put it out on like Apple, Spotify, or
Yeah,
wherever.
usually, what's his name? If it's about politics, usually it's like that.
I really, yeah, yeah. Well, no,
Dude,
there's
I watched a commercial, dude. It gave me 1 hour commercial just talking about, well, just talking about the president of the United States, basically. Like the economic and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I don't care. And I wanted to skip it, but it was interesting, though. That's the problem. You
what
know,
was it?
it was about well, how did how America and China the trade war, and things like that, and if China had the capacity to invade Taiwan, and would United States really defend Taiwan, things like that. And I was like, I got tired, after the guest left. Then I left too. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna skip this, and I skipped it because then they start to talk about things that I didn't care about, like.
Yeah, I mean, if if you're not interested, just like change it. I mean, like the podcast I listen to the
No,
same
dude,
episode
it
like
was a
over and
commercial,
over.
dude.
Oh, a commercial.
Yeah, they have a podcast and a commercial, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well,
and I was
sometimes you
watching.
can pay, and they don't have the commercials if you pay. You subscribe to their.
I don't care, dude. Like, I wanted to skip it, but it was interesting the first part, and I wanted
Well,
to learn. So I mean, I didn't skip
speaking
that, but
if I'm here, I do have to fly to Rhode Island. And if I'm oh, maybe I'll just send them a link and we could do it from Rhode Island. But I have a really awesome person I want to bring on next time. Um, someone said, "Can you add entertainment?" I'm not sure what that means. If you can like let me know what adding entertainment means, that would be awesome. And Lachelle said, "I like what y'all are doing here. I'll definitely be tuning in. Thank you so much." Someone said, "What?" Um, oh, this is post soda, Zaid.
Ooh.
Someone said that
It's because when somebody said like, "Can you make it more entertaining?"
oh yeah, well I was like, what does that mean? She said, some channels have gambling or role playing in the chat.
I'm not gonna role play.
Yo, I don't know. Gambling. I mean,
So one thing, there's one reason I don't gamble. One, because I don't like it and I hate it, and yeah, and because I'm in a bad mood. And second, because I don't even know.
well, yeah, gambling. I don't start. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good way to lose a lot of money.
yeah,
It's an
Josefa.
addiction. Yeah, we don't need that. We're trying to make money. So speaking of making money, if you guys want to donate to the Cash App, it's linked in the pin. Someone asked who the artist and writer was that we had earlier. Their name is Chops Wander Weird. They are an artist based out of Ward, Colorado, and their website is Chops Wander Weird. It's in the pin. So the Cash App and the artist's webpage is there where you can order books, prints, or get a commission if you have um, a video game mandala that you would like created for you. His art is still behind me. I couldn't tell you what is going on, but it's pretty cool. You asked really good questions too, Zaid.
No, dude, I'm an expert at this. What you
Yeah,
think?
you're so good. You asked such really, really good questions.
I told you, dude, I'm good at this, dude. I've been doing this for 100 years.
I know, but it's also yeah, well, it's also your something that you're interested in. So I was really excited to get someone on here that, shared similar interests to you.
Yeah, someone who doesn't use AI because
Ay, ay, ay. So someone Panda said gambling probably wouldn't fit, but different channels have different ideas. But they interact stuff sometimes. It's just like channel points and stuff like that, no real money value. Well, we can't do any of that until we get 1,000 followers. So if you guys are watching and you're not subscribed, please like and subscribe. Zaid is usually, I mean, Zaid is here. He's uh in the dark,
Yeah.
y'all. It must be late. What time is it?
I don't know. 9 something.
No, there's gotta be later than that. What time is it where you are?
Huh?
I think it's like 11. For some reason, I can't see the time. Can you guys let us know what time it is? What
God,
and what time mountain time it is? Oh, it's yeah, you say it's 11 where you are. It's 11, 12, 11:15.
it's not 11:15, dude, is it?
You're in Central Standard Time, right? Yeah. What's the
Isn't
time in
it?
Texas?
I don't know, dude.
I think it's 11:15 in Texas right now.
I don't think so, but it might be 10, but 11, I don't know.
Pretty sure we've been on. Guess how long we've been online for streaming?
3 hours?
2 hours.
Yeah, dude, if we started at 8, no way it's 11. It's probably 10.
Oh, you're right. It is 10.
Dude, I may be stupid, but not that stupid.
That's so funny. What the hell is 67? Kids, tell me what 67 means.
First of all, why are there kids here?
I don't know. I made it for adults only, but they still get in.
I know, I swear, guys, some parents get mad. I'm just gonna tell it straightforward. It's your fault.
Well, it's not my fault. I put the
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the parents.
oh, the parents. Yeah. Can you imagine just like having access? I mean,
No,
you're younger than me, so you have a generation where you could access anything from the internet.
no, but still, dude. Even I will have a limit, though. You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
that's what
Oh,
I'm saying. Even even if I have a kid, dude, I will have a limit, dude. I will be like, you know what? No, dude, you can't watch this, dude.
totally. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing
Like,
I like. That's one thing I like about my friend, though, that he's like, no, kids, you cannot watch that. I'm like,
yeah, because their brains are so malleable and impressionable, and that's why they have like parental limits on YouTube and
I know,
these
but the thing is,
technologies.
kids like adult stuff for some reason, dude. That's the thing I don't get.
Well, it's
You
probably
know?
interesting to them.
And that's the problem now that I have with people. Like, don't get me wrong, but this is why there was the AI report, because a lot of them are kids, they don't understand, and blah blah. So
True. That's very true. The people that do report our videos are probably younger, and a lot of them probably haven't seen what it looks like to be a burn survivor, and so they just think that it's
exactly,
not real.
I had two theories: either kids or stupid teenagers.
Yeah, probably a mixture of both. I'd say 50-50.
Nah, dude. But sorry, guys, but today I'm angry, so
Well, you seem like you're in a better mood.
I'm in a bad mood, but I'm pretending not to be angry.
Yeah. Well, the stream did really, really well tonight. I'm pretty impressed. Well, we are 569 subscribers. Good night, everyone that's going to sleep. Thanks for following us. We really appreciate it. But
Yay!
if you're watching, please subscribe. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers so that we can get monetized and start doing fun stuff. I'm watching. I'm pulling up this. Let me put those up. Oh, here we go.
I don't hear you.
Oh no, I know you don't hear me. I'm pulling up a site. I'm
Oh.
hungry.
Don't start that again, Josefa.
I know I'm really hungry.
Dude, why don't you eat before?
I did. I had a full dinner.
Yeah, sure.
I did. I swear.
Then why you hungry?
That's a good question.
Man.
That's a good question. All right, I'm pulling back up the YouTube, the Tubi Ubies. If anyone has any questions, yeah, thank you, Reb. Appreciate it. The Reb's been on for 2 hours being your mod.
Dang, Rev, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, they've been here since the beginning.
Thank you so much for handling too many things, dude. I really appreciate it.
Seriously, super super nice. Oh. So I set up a big. I was gonna have a really big birthday party, but I canceled it.
Why, dude?
I don't know. I just felt overwhelmed and canceled it. But I had a really cute. I had a flyer, but I threw it in the trash. I'm digging through my trash to try to find this flyer so I could show you guys what it looked like.
Uh,
Oh, here it is. Make sure my address isn't in it.
it is, isn't it, though?
It isn't. Okay, so my friend Scott, his birthday was 2 months ago, and he also didn't want to celebrate his birthday. So let's have a joint birthday party. So this was our invitation. There's no, yeah, no address. So it says, "You're invited, a joint birthday bash for Yosefa and Scott. Join us at the ranch for live music, jamming, and community fun. Bring an instrument to jam. All ages and animals welcome. Potluck, bring a dish."
Oh, he just isn't it?
Yeah, all age. Like if people are like, "Can I bring my
No,
kid?
I
Can I
get
bring
the
my
ages. I just don't get
grandma?"
the. I just don't get the animals, dude.
Oh, because a lot of people want to bring their dogs.
Dude, then you should say all dogs, dude.
Or, they can bring their guinea pigs or their goldfish. I don't care.
I don't think they're gonna bring a guinea pig or a fish, dude, but okay.
You never know. I went to a yard sale the other day and this girl that was selling stuff had 2 guinea pigs just running around.
What the heck?
I know they're basically just giant mice. I'm not sure why people have them as pets.
I don't even know why. And then some people have rats.
I used to have a pet rat, Zaid. I swear to you, I had 3 pet rats. I think I had multiple pet rats.
The only thing I don't
Um,
like is they're nicer as they get old, they get angry.
the rats get angry?
Yeah, they don't want you to touch them.
Well, no, old people generally don't want you to touch them.
No, I know, but still.
Oh,
Like
Reb says. Oh, go ahead.
rats, they bite.
So they can bite if they're like in a bad mood, but I had 3 rats when I was younger. I was like 17, 18, and one of them escaped. Well, actually, they would just kind of run around. They lived at my boyfriend's house, and we built this really big cage for them out of wire, and it was this really amazing place for the rats. But we'd let them out and to run and jump and be free. And one of them went into the washing machine when no one was looking and accidentally got washed.
Dude, don't say it like that, dude.
He got very, very washed.
Dude, don't say it like that, dude. You know I'll start laughing, dude.
He was very
You,
clean.
you're so mean, dude.
I didn't do it.
No, I know, but the way you said it, dude, like I was not expecting that.
R.I.P. Yep. Yep, yep, yep,
Dude,
yep, yep.
don't say it like that, dude. Like, oh my gosh, dude. Dude, I hate you for that.
I know, it was so sad. I was like, "No, that's, like, the worst way to die." It's like drowning mixed with, like, being shaken.
Dude, I hate you, dude. You should have told me that happened, dude.
It sure did.
No,
Yeah,
no, but like you should have told me sorry, someone dies with this. This is nothing prepared. Dude. My gosh, dude.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yep, everyone's like,
This is
"Rats?" Like, yeah, they were rats, and they're actually extremely intelligent. They knew their names, they were very friendly. You could
what the dude.
hang out. They were extremely intelligent animals. They're very, very they have, like they say they have the intelligence of a two-year-old.
Hmm. I wonder why the water rods are not intelligent enough to stay out my.
To stay out of the washing machine.
No, stay out of trouble with me and like people.
The rats?
Yeah, there was this haunted house that we had, and there was like rats all over the place, like all over the kitchen, dude.
Is this a real place that you lived?
Yeah.
You lived in a place with a bunch of rats?
Yes, dude.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Like real rats?
Yes, we. Oh my gosh.
Well, and honestly, now that I think about it, when I lived in New York, rats would get into my closet and eat my clothes.
No, dude. Here, the rats were small, but dude, one time I woke up and the rat was eating what it was eating. It was eating some kind of pepper that my mom left on the table. And then you have to understand that my room was not actually a room. It was like a closet, but it was still a room, you know. So it was like a squish thing, you know. Like I had the bed, and then over the bed it was the table, and that was it, you know.
So it was like a really large closet or a very small room.
Very yeah, very like a storage room, I'll say.
Mm.
And so anyway, I don't even know. I think the rat jumped either that or crawled through a hole because in no way. I'm saying that thing had to pass through me to eat the pepper because the table was like the next to the bed, you know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I don't know if this thing jumped or I don't know because they had different tunnels they could sneak through. So either that
Maybe
or what?
maybe he just walked right over you.
I don't know. But when I woke up, I heard this chomping sound like chewing, you know. And I thought it was my mom because you know my mom likes to eat peppers, so I thought, that's my so I fell asleep, you know, I didn't care. And then I asked my mom the other day, "Hey mom, were you eating peppers last night?" She's like, "No." She's like, "It was a rat." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." And that but it was funny though, because I used to not be scared rats. I'm not scared rats, but like I say like it was just funny now that I think about it. Like how could that rat jump, you know, like
Well, they're pretty good jumpers and they're pretty good runners. They're
I know, but like it could have decided to like hurt me too, because they were wild rats. These were not pet rats. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
but if you're not trying to hurt or they're not going to just attack you for no reason. I'm not they're if you're trying to pick them up, then they'll get really pissed off. My pet snake, I had to feed him live rats.
That's
And yeah, one time my snake just decided he didn't want to eat it. So I had to
shove it.
well, I didn't have to shove it. I had to terminate the rat for the snake myself. And I think the rat knew, so I went to go pick it up. It just bit me. And I mean, I felt really bad, but
Oh my gosh, dude.
what was I gonna do? Yeah, there's really not much you can do. If you have the best thing to do is just to feed them frozen rats.
I think so. That's what me and my teachers did in school. We had a snake and we fed them mice, frozen mice.
Yeah, mice. Yeah,
I feel bad for the mice though. I feel
yeah.
bad I feel bad for the mice. For the rats, I don't care.
Why? They're
I
for
don't know. Dude, I told you, me and the rats don't get along. We have tried to get along, but we just don't get along, dude. Like they don't bother me, I don't bother them, you know.
So you get along.
No, we don't get along, but we also not like fighting each other.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it's not like I'm gonna go and attack her back. I mean, I'll defend myself if needed, but you know, it's not like I'm gonna go after it.
Yeah, no, they're really sweet.
Not
Someone's
the wild
saying
ones.
I'm giving New York vibes. Um, I live on a farm in Colorado,
They want to know where you are, Josefa.
but I did live in New York. I did live in Brooklyn for a few months. I'm from Rhode Island.
Oh my gosh, I hate that song.
You what? Oh, don't get any songs stuck in my head, please.
In New York.
Oh, God. Tell people to beat it. All right, do you guys have any final questions? We've been on for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and when it dies, that's it. We're gonna go.
Yeah, do you have any someone's asking, I'm Yosefa. This is Zaid. You can't see Zaid right now because his camera doesn't work. Something's going on.
Yeah, it's in my iPod, so don't worry, guys. It's you. If you cannot see me, go through the beginning of the video. And that's how I look.
Yeah, if you go to the channel and you look at it. But Zaid the Burn Survivor, I'm Yosefa. We've been friends for 12 years. We do this every Tuesday night. The point is to just have fun and to raise money for Zaid. His Cash App is linked here. Also, the artist that we had on earlier, this is some of his artwork. We can buy his comic books, a commission, or buy prints, wanderweird.com. It's in the pin. And someone asked how you got burned. He was burned in a house fire when he was 2. Yeah, I'm Yosef and this is Zaid, Zaid. And yeah.
And before you make assumptions, no, we're not dating.
Yes, we are not dating. Zaid, my birthday's in like 40 minutes. Oh my
So,
god.
so,
Oh, so sucks getting older.
oh well.
You guys, my birthday's in like, what time is it? Does anyone know what
Dude,
time it is in mountain time?
in New York, y'all been to Brooklyn.
I do not like kids these days. They have a language I don't even like. I could read you the chat and I'd be like, I have no idea what you guys are
That's
talking
what I
about.
told you, dude. Do you know last time I got angry at somebody because they're like, it's kids, 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 kids. I'm like, what the heck are you trying to say, dude?
I don't know. You're 36. I am 38 for the next like 30 minutes probably. Oh, someone's 9. Well,
Don't get in trouble, 9-year-old.
yeah, this is for adults only. I don't know how children get in here, but we love you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the happy birthday. Yeah, my birthday is I don't know what time it is because for some reason I can't see it on my phone and my computer is giving me the wrong time.
In New York,
Oh, my mom just texted me happy birthday. My mom must be watching.
New
Mom, what time
York,
is it?
New York.
Oh yeah, Colorado Mountain Time.
Sorry, what you said?
My mom is watching.
Oh, cool.
Now you're like, oh God, now I have to be nice.
No, I say, oh, cool. Like,
You're like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah,
Do you want to say anything to my mom?
yes.
Okay.
You know. Let's see, what can I say against you? She don't know, dude. For 2 hours, Josefa's been annoying me so much.
Yeah, I'm so mean.
Yeah.
2 hours. My mom says hello, Zaid.
Hello. Let's say hello like my friends. Hello.
She says love from Rhode Island.
Whoever that is.
So Rhode Island is near New York.
Oh, no.
That's funny. Carson, I put you in timeout because you were just really annoying, not gonna lie.
What's he saying?
Um, I don't know. I think he's probably like 13 or something.
Whoa,
We
what's he
didn't make it
saying,
to
dude?
I don't even know. It's language I literally don't understand. Like it's Gen Z language. You guys, I'm 39 in like 20 minutes, so we have to.
Who cares, dude?
That just means I don't know Gen Z. I don't hang out with enough like young kids to understand the language. I do
No,
work at a
dude.
summer camp though, so I'm gonna learn a lot this summer.
No, I don't even work. No, like, I don't even know my own generation, though.
No, you don't, and that's probably for the best.
I know, dude. I'll be speaking weird, too, dude. No, one time my friend told me, hey, dude, hope you're doing good. And then XX. Wait, what the heck?
Oh, XX is hug hug. That's actually like
They
I
could just
think
say,
boomers.
dude, they could
What?
just say HH, okay? They don't have to. Oh my gosh.
No, you know what they're talking about, Zaid, is XOXO.
I don't care,
I
dude.
I think. You know what XOXO means?
No.
Like hug kiss, like XOXO. That's
Yeah,
something you should know.
fuck that shit.
Oh my god, Zaid, don't say that. We could get banned
I
again.
don't care, dude. It doesn't make sense, dude.
Blah, blah, blah was saying, yeah, I was born in 1986. Um,
Open the skies and see.
yeah, my dog looks so cute. He looks like a little turd on the floor. Can you guys see him?
I'm just a. Wait, what the
I
heck?
don't know if you can see him.
Mama.
Um, I don't wanna die. You guys want to see this artwork up close? It's not done, but it's pretty cool. It's all hand painted.
In New York. Oh my god, dude! Thanks for your guys to stay in my head now, dude.
That's your fault.
Oh, it's your fault, dude. We're
Your
gonna fight. We're
fault.
gonna fight after this.
Your fault.
No, we're gonna fight after this, dude.
No, we're not, because I'm going to be 39, and that means I'm officially an adult. No more
So
fighting.
what?
That means that we can't fight anymore,
No,
and I'm
dude.
just
No,
gonna
dude.
be
No, dude.
so nice to you.
No, dude. We're gonna fight, dude.
No.
Yes, dude.
We don't
I
really
don't.
fight. You take your anger out on me,
Which is good.
which means you love me.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, dude.
Yes.
No, dude.
Thanks, Lachelle. I really appreciate you.
But as they say though, if they say though, even if even like even a tiny bit, if it did though, it will not matter though. Like how some people in the movies they're like, even if I love you, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna say it to you.
And so, even a little bit what?
How sometimes in the movies they're like, even if I did love this guy or this girl, I'm not gonna tell them. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
You know how in the movies they go like that sometimes, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant. Like, like not just a bit, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I get it. They probably don't wanna seem vulnerable.
I, dude, I look vulnerable. What you talking about? Like,
Yeah, they don't yeah, sometimes when you speak from your heart or your truth, it's hard to because you don't wanna
no,
be
dude.
vulnerable. Sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable.
No, dude. I just don't care about any. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, so untrue. Well, I
No,
hope
dude.
that we can get Berlin out here.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, if you guys uh new to the channel, Berlin is his friend that he's known for 3 years.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
This is his best
And like
friend.
Josefa, we fight. Not like that though. Not like no. I mean like clashes.
Yes. So
How you say
it-
friendly? Friendly clash? I think so, right?
well, you guys have what's the word?
No, even with you too. What you talking about?
No, but your dynamic is much different with her.
No, but like it's like friendly fight. Like
Yeah. Yeah, you have yeah, friendly fighting. Like you have just I mean, most relationships there are fights, if not all relationships there are fights. And if usually
not just
you communicate
sometimes,
through
dude.
them,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I just make up stuff
you make up stuff.
to fight with Berlin. Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, so you like fighting. You're an
What?
instigator. You're an
But
instigator, you like fighting?
sometimes, yeah. I think I'm raised in a woman in a.
No, you're not. You are just who you are. Um, we're talking about oh yeah, so distracted. So for those are new to this channel and just coming in, Berlin's his best friend. They've never met in real life and she lives in Indonesia and we are trying to raise money to bring her to the United States. So when you donate to the Cash app, that money goes to Zaid to bring Berlin to the United States. Someone said I'm jealous. So jelly. Oh, Zaid is gone, isn't he? Ay, ay, ay. So Zaid, both his phone and now his how are those things called? Anyway, Zaid's not here anymore. So we are going to end the show. I can answer one more question for you guys. If you have one more question, I'd be happy to answer it. Um, is it a soda? No, it is just a Spindrift. It's sparkling water. So thank you so much for watching us, for subscribing, for giving us likes and giving Zaid a lot of love and support. Again, if you like the artist, check the pin. You can check out his work. You can order Prince, his book, or see if maybe if he could do a commission for you at wanderweird.com. We are heading off. Yeah, it's true. Ending JK swag and excuse me, very bubbly. We'll be back on next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. Thank you so much for checking in. And we just made a TikTok. We're here to help. Not we're here to help. That's my favorite podcast is We're Here to Help. Um, let's we're doing this. We're doing this is our TikTok. You'll find us already. We've been playing around with it for a really long time, but it's officially the We're Doing This podcast. And if you haven't seen We're Here to Help, it's my favorite podcast ever. It's really, really funny, and you guys should check it out. No affiliation, obviously. All right, bye guys. Thanks, Mom, for watching us. Mwah, 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 mwah.